How do you get from this to this? Well, today I'm going to show you how to take a standard 2-5-1 in a minor key and give it some spice. We're going to go through 8 levels of harmonization, and each one will get more complex as we go. If you're new here and this is your first video, welcome. My name is Tim Whalen. I've been teaching jazz piano and improvisation for over 25 years, and I'm really glad you're here. Before we get back to the video, I've got 2 free resources I'd love for you to check out. I have my Jazz Warm-Ups and Etudes packet. It's 4 etudes on tune-up, the blues, autumn leaves, and rhythm changes. The second one, I've got a free webinar called Play Jazz Piano Voicings with Confidence. It's just what it says. In the description below, there's links to both, and would love to see you in there. The goal of this video is to show you that there's much more than meets the eye when it comes to jazz harmony. There are ways that you can make what's on the page more interesting. And today I'm going to talk about basically 3 ways that you can do this. The first is to find movement through passing chords. The second is chord substitutions, actually changing the quality of the chords you're playing. And the third is to spread your voicings into both hands. When you look at a lead sheet, there is so much more than meets the eye. Underneath the written chords are what I call hidden chords. I've got a video all about that. I'll put it in the description and you can look right here. For the sake of today's video, I'm going to use bars 25 through 27 of Autumn Leaves to demonstrate this. First of all, what is a minor 2-5-1? We're just talking about a 2-5-1 progression in a minor key. This isn't going to be a video about how to create 2-5-1s in a minor key. It's kind of understood. You at least know on a basic level what it is. If you'd like a deep dive into mastering the 2-5-1 progression in major or minor, I just happen to have a course called 2-5-1 Voicing Mastery. You can check that out as well in the description below. But in its most basic form, a 2-5-1 in a minor key is a 2 half diminished, 5 altered, flat 9, flat 13, any sort of altered chord. But in its most basic form, it's a dominant 7 flat 9, and then a minor 6 for the 1 chord, or a minor 6-9, minor major 7. It's not minor 7. I mean, you can substitute in a minor 7, but really it's a tonic minor is a minor 6, okay? Or minor major 7. So 2 half diminished, 5-7 flat 9, 1 minor 6. In this case, we're in Autumn Leaves, so A half diminished, D7 flat 9, G minor 6. If you were to look at a lead sheet of this tune on bar 25, you would see probably something like this. You'd see A half diminished, D7 flat 9. On the tune, they do G minor 7, C7, F minor 7, B flat. But for the sake of this video, we're just going to treat that G minor as a tonic minor, just for the sake of the video. So A half diminished, D7, G minor 6. Okay, so that's what it would look like. So if you were just going to play that at face value, whether you're comping for somebody or trying to come up into the arrangement of this, that's what that would sound like. But that's kind of, well, boring. So there's ways that we can make this way more interesting. There's so much more here than just meets the eye of these chords. It's up to us to know the different ways to bring these chords to a higher level. So level 1, it's really just literally the chord changes with really no extra stuff. You got A half diminished, D7, just plain old D7 to G minor 6. That's what the chords are, really. It sounds like a minor 2-5-1. It's pleasant enough. But now let's go through and we can see how this can get even more interesting. Level 2, what we're going to do is on the 5 chord, the D7, we're now just going to move 1 note to make it a flat 9. Okay, that will immediately make that 5 chord sound a little different. And on the G minor 6, we're going to take the root and move it up to make it a minor 6/9. So now we have again. Already getting a little more interesting. Now level 3, we're going to take what we just did, and this is a technique that should become familiar to you. It's called drop 2. We're going to take everything we did in the right hand, now we're going to be able to spread it into 2 hands. So what drop 2 is, I do have a video on drop 2 as well. I'll put that in the description as well. All drop 2 means is the second to top note, we bring it down the octave. So that's really all we're doing here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the root just so we can hear the harmony. But these voicings on top of the root are going to be in drop 2. So here's what that would sound like. I took those voicings, so I went from to this. That voicing went down. That voicing went down. Remember, second to top note goes down the octave. That's what drop 2 means. Again. I mean, that's very different than... We're already getting some nice interest. So that's level 3. Man, we've got way more to go here. Level 4. What you can do is on the 5 chord now, whenever you have a 5 chord, you can always make it a sus4 before resolving. So if it says D7, well, if you've got time in the bar to do it, you could do D7 sus4, then to D7. Because remember, harmony is all about creating movement wherever you can. You always want this feeling that it's going somewhere. Like static harmony isn't always great. Once in a while it is, but you want it to move. So when we do this now, it's going to give us a little bit more of tension and release on that 5 chord. So here's what that would sound like. Sus, then resolve. So check that out again. D9 sus4. I didn't play that great. There we go. In the movement there we have, it's drop 2. That G goes down the octave, and then we resolve it. There's our 9, there's our sus4, flat 9, third. Level 5 now, this is a really nice device that you can do. It implies tritone substitution, but this is a really nice movement. Again, in that video about the hidden chords, I talked about this. This is the power of a dominant 13 sharp 11. You can add a passing chord before the D7 in the first bar of the A half diminished. The last example we had, but now what we can add to precede the D7, we can play an E flat 13 sharp 11. Here's what that would sound like. Again. Now why does that sharp 11, 13 sharp 11 work? Okay, this is what we call an upper structure voicing. It's an F triad over 1, 3, 7 of E flat 7. These notes, they're all common to the chord we're kind of resolving to. We got the A here, the C, the F fits this chord, that's why in there, but it just, these all want to move down here. It's a common passing chord. So again, let's kind of do a test now. Here's the first one. I even spiced that one chord up. Now here's where we're at. Number 6 is a variation of what we just did. The last one, we approached the D9 sus4 with this E flat 13 sharp 11, and then down to the D7 sus4. What we can do is a variation. We can make that E flat 13 sharp 11 chord an E flat 13 sus4. So that would sound like this. Here's the difference. Dominant 13 sharp 11, sus. There's your sus. You're chromatically approaching sus down to sus. I love that sound. The last two, 7 and 8, now involve actually substituting chord qualities. We're going to sub out the half diminished, the 2 half diminished, and then on number 8, we're going to do that as well, but then on the last bar, we're going to show how you can sub chords over the 1 chord to create some movement. All right, this is a really cool thing. I first heard Cedar Walton do this. If you haven't checked out Cedar Walton, do it like now. Check out Manhattan Afternoon. That's a great album. And he's got these 3 albums called The Trio, Volume 1, 2, and 3. He's got great records with Ron Carter. Check out Cedar. He was in Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers. He's one of the greats. So what he did that I heard was whenever you have a 2 half diminished chord, you can sub out the half diminished chord with a dominant, like an altered dominant. Especially if the melody here is the flat 5 over A. Well, what Cedar can do is you take a dominant 13 with a flat 9 and a sharp 11, and you get this. Woo! Check that out. So right here, this is, I don't know, I call them one-hand spread voicings. They essentially reach a 9th. A lot of people can reach that. 10ths are hard, but if you can get your hands used to being able to reach a 9, it would really help. I don't have huge hands, so like, this is doable for me. So I've got root, 7th, 3rd, 13, flat 9, sharp 11. Check that out. Here's the original chord, and then this. Pretty hip. So what we're going to do is we're just subbing out that first half diminished chord. This is similar to number 5. It's the same movement with the E flat 13 sharp 11, but now we're subbing out this half diminished with the dominant 13 flat 9 sharp 11. Here's what that would sound like. Man, that's really nice. Let's just do a little test back to number 1. Now here we go. Okay, the final one here. What we're going to do now is we're going to give some movement over the 1 chord. So the idea of this is we're going to incorporate some Barry Harris concepts loosely with some passing diminished chords and 6 chords. And then we're going to make our way back to the chord we've been playing. So here's what we have so far. Now we've got so what's going on there, okay? We got, that's a G minor 6/9 in drop 2, and then I have, this is like an F sharp diminished, which implies D7, G minor 6, F sharp diminished, back to the G minor. If I did this in 4-way close, it would be like this. There's our 6/9. Oh no, sorry. There we go. And then I'll do some videos on the sixth diminished scale. There's plenty of, you know who you should check out? Check out Chris Parks. He's got a great YouTube channel. Things I Learned from Barry Harris. That's where you got to go to learn this stuff. Or to Barry's videos himself. I mean, that's really the best. If you just type in Barry Harris, this a whole thing. It's a series of videos, which I can't get into today, but that's where that's coming from. Again, in four-way close. But then when we do it in drop 2, that's really nice, huh? Let's do the whole thing. Whew. Well, that was fun. I enjoyed putting this together. I could talk about chords and harmony all day. So I hope you got something out of it. If you haven't subscribed, I'd love it if you would. I really appreciate you being here, and I hope to see you again, and happy practicing. Thank you.